Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to another session of Fred Speaks. And I have a great topic tonight that I wanted to talk about. I hope everyone had a great day, a productive day. But my topic is something new. And I was thinking, everyone has to speak for themselves, but have you ever wanted to like start a business, get a new job, or relocate to another city or state, or have a new relationship, but you were unwilling to change or try something new or different? And I was thinking about there's so many times that opportunities will present itself, but we reject them because they don't satisfy our list, or we are afraid to venture out of our box. So we have this comfort zone, and it's kind of like I'm good here. I don't want to get out of this space, so I'm not open to something new. But the problem with that is there could be, a business that would be perfect, for you, or for myself. But because it requires us to get out of our comfort zone, we reject it. So it's ideal. It could help us with so many different things to have our own business. Um, but we're like, no, 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 no. I'm comfortable here. And this business, it's gonna be more challenging. It's gonna require more effort than I've ever given to anything. And so we kind of push it back or hold it at bay, like, I don't know, maybe not, and we find ourselves not even doing anything. But I can remember there was a job opportunity that was presented to me, and I mean, it was everything. It was like, man, this is it. Because my whole thing was I did not want to lose flexibility uh from what I had at the moment, the current job that I had. And so I was like, I don't want to, I don't know, because I don't want to lose that flexibility. But the job, I mean, the room for growth, advancement, being rewarding and challenging, all of that was there. But I was resistant to it, because I was afraid, because I had been on this job for like 5 years, and I was comfortable. I was comfortable. I wasn't growing. I wasn't, advancing. I wasn't being challenged anymore, but I was comfortable. And so, that's how we find ourselves. It's like there's new opportunity, something new, but we have our comfort zone, we have our requirements and different things like that, and so we resist these new opportunities. And I was, thinking about that. The main reason that I was reluctant to explore the job opportunity, was because, and many of you may agree, is that comfort, that comfort zone. I know this. I feel good with this, or I'm comfortable with this. I don't want to, because something new is going to require me to now learn, and I know this thing here, whether it's a job, a relationship, a business, a city, state, or whatever. I know this, and if I do something new or different, it's going to require me to learn. It's going to require me to move, and I'm comfortable standing right here and being right here. And so, in regards to like relocating to uh, a new city or a new state, um, you know, in your mind you start to think about, oh, I got my family, I got my church, I got, everything is here. And if I move somewhere else, then I'm not going to have all of that. I'm not going to have family there. I'm not going to have, my church. I'm not going to have everything that I have gotten so comfortable and used to is not going to be there. But guess what? That is an opportunity to grow, to meet new people, to start to uh, develop, you know, friendships and things that where you do start to build something where you have other people that you can rely on and you can reach out to. And so you don't have to rely on your same circle anymore, but your circle starts to expand because now you're open to meeting new people by venturing out and getting away from a city or state that you had been used to being there. um, and I understand that relocating is a big step. It's a big step because it requires you got to move, you got to get all your stuff together, and you got to go to another city or another state. Um, but it is venturing out. It is getting out of the same old. That hey, I want to do something different. Like one of my things, for like vacation. You can, when it comes to a vacation, you can just you say you're taking a vacation, but it's really not a vacation. It's more so a trip. And you might go, let's say you live in Florida, you may go to the northern part of Florida to a beach or something like that, which is maybe hours or so away from you. But to really like venture out and get out of your, like, okay, as long as it's within a few hours or so, then I'm willing to do that. But what about venturing out where you have to get on a plane and you fly to somewhere like Jamaica, to Hawaii, to the Bahamas, or somewhere. And so I look at that, and when it comes to relocating, um we don't want to go far. If we do move, we don't want to go far. It's like, okay, within a mile's distance or whatever. And because we don't mind as long as it's in the same area where our family and friends are, um, then we're okay with that. But when we have to relocate to somewhere where we don't know anybody, we have to develop new relationships and everything. Start a new job possibly. Those things, it tends to like keep us locked in. But that's the whole thing about doing something new and trying something different, is that you got to get out of that comfort zone. And then the one thing that I wanted to touch on, that is a big one for most people, men and women, is a relationship. So a relationship with someone of the opposite sex or whatever, and that you you're looking for uh something that could possibly lead to long term, and maybe possibly being married. um and so we have our list. We have our list. This person has got to be blah, 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 meet all these requirements or whatever. And if they don't meet the requirements, and then we scratch them off, we're like, nope, nope, it's not going to work, not going to work. Um, but there's so many things that they, they have, characteristics and, things that they bring to the table that are not materialistic type things and monetary things, but they are a loving person. They good communicator, good listener, very caring, you know, and these things that we overlook because maybe the person does not meet the physical requirements that we have on our list. and so we don't want to give it a chance. And then sometimes they can meet the physical requirement or whatever, but then we're just afraid because we've had bad experiences with relationships and everything, and we're like, I don't want to try nothing new. I don't, it's only going to lead to this. This has been my experience, is that these things, they don't work for me. They don't work for me, so I'm not willing to try anything new, because I've had all these bad experiences and everything. um but in order to grow and have uh, a lot of experiences in life, you have to be willing to try something new, something different. And I think we miss out on a lot of things because we are like, um, we say we don't do it, but subconsciously we do look for a certain type. We already have in our mind, you know, whether we communicate it or not, that we want the same old, same old, same. And we find ourselves being attracted to that because in our minds and we've put it out there, that this is the person, this is my type, this is my type. And so that's what we end up. But a lot of times that's the very relationship that we end up getting hurt the most, is the ones where we have in our mind, or have our mindset that this is the type of person that I work best with, or that I feel that I need. But I was thinking about, in regards to relationships, something new. I was thinking about the movie, Something New with Sanaa Lathan, and that was one of the things I was looking for, a relationship, or to have a significant other. And somebody, had set her up a blind date or whatever, and she found out that he was white. And oh God, she was just like, no, 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 no. But when she gave him a chance to, do some landscaping and stuff in her home or whatever, and she started to have an interest in him or whatever. And, he already had an interest in her from the beginning, but, she didn't, again, didn't wasn't on the list. Something, is his race that was not on her list. And but when all said and done, he loved her. He was willing to do anything for her. Um and and I brought that up to say that a lot of times, because it's something new or different, we're afraid of it, and we're concerned about what others will think and stuff like that. But we're missing out on such a great opportunity, and to have a very meaningful, loving relationship with someone. And I've been guilty. Guilty of, like, in my mind, the type of person, physically and everything, that I felt was for me. And I pursued that, and was kind of like stuck in that. And those, a long story short, those relationships did not work. Some of them, they lasted, longer than others. And I think that's because I was trying so hard to make them work. It was almost like trying to take a puzzle piece and put it in a place that it doesn't belong. You're trying to get it to fit. You want to make it fit, but it just doesn't fit. And no matter how you try to force it, it just doesn't fit. And so, something new, or different, I mean, we have to understand that just because we've been used to something, the norm, or the norm for us, does not mean that that's uh, the best thing for us. So I just wanted to talk about that tonight. Something new, Because I think everybody at some point in your life, it becomes a time where you need to experience something new. You need something new in your life. I was thinking about going on a vacation or whatever, and you can have in your mind, oh, I'm just gonna lay out at the beach or by the pool, and and just kind of relax and everything. And so you scratch off the list, I'm not parasailing, I'm not doing any snorkeling, I'm not doing any of the zip line or none of that stuff. I'm not doing that stuff. That's not something I do. It's not something I do. I don't do that. And so I'm not going to even give that a try. So I'm just going to do what I'm used to and what I'm comfortable with, is just laying out by the beach or by the pool, relaxing, and do dinner and stuff like that. But all of this other stuff that I'm not used to, I'm not doing it. But we miss out on so much of enjoying that vacation. I remember going on a vacation that it was only for like 3 or 4 days, but within those 3 or 4 days, I got out of my comfort zone. I was able to do some things that and explore some things that I normally wouldn't do. But because I got out of my comfort zone and was more open to something new, oh man, I got some experiences that I'll always remember. you know I always remember because I got out of my comfort zone. And the other thing about that was, I'm the type of person, I didn't too much, I had gotten away from being spontaneous. And that trip was like, or the vacation was like, it was spontaneous, but man, it all fell into place. It all worked out. And like I said, had a great time um on this vacation. But I had to be open. One of the things was, I had never uh used an Airbnb, never been in a situation where did mostly walked and didn't have any transportation. So basically walking and exploring and stuff like that. um but man, just doing that was great. It was great. And like I say, um the scenery and being able to explore and everything wasn't something you could fully appreciate by being in a car or whatever. So being able to be out and walk and see different things was awesome. So just doing something new. But I just wanted to get back to the thoughts I initially mentioned, was about starting a business. And most people are like, oh, no, 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 no. When it comes to starting a business, like, oh, it's going to take too much, it's going to require too much of my time. But again, that's just getting out of the comfort zone and getting out of, this is what I'm used to, and exploring that. Because having your own business, I mean, now you're your own boss, you're your CEO. You know what I'm saying, you can make your schedule. And yes, it requires work because it's your business, but it's your business. And you have something to say that it's mine. And then, in regards to, let's say you want a new job. I mean, something new. I remember when I started a new job, and in your mind, you're like, oh my God, the expectation, you're kind of like, oh, I got to learn this, got to learn. I'm gonna have to learn the environment, learn the people, and different things, and you got to get used to, a whole different environment and stuff. But that's fine. That's fine. But it's all a part of growth. If you were on a job for all your life, the same job, and nothing against that, but man, look, you kind of locked in your skill set. You're kind of locked into one particular thing, unless you were able to move to different positions while you're within that same company. Um, but just having the opportunity to develop new skill sets, to meet new people that you also will be able to learn from, and basically having that experience of a new environment. And the one that I have struggled with is relocating. And I'm always it always crossed my mind, like, it'd be nice to live here and to, get a new job, or and just meet new people and stuff. But just in my mind, that whole thing of, my family is here, and my church and all of this, and so I talked myself out of it. And, oh, you got a house or whatever, you don't want to, you know I'll go through all of that of what you're going to do about the house and all this kind of stuff, and talk myself out of it. But there, I haven't let that go. So I'm still, that is something I am definitely exploring, because one day I would like to. There's several different places that are on my list that I would love to live. I wouldn't even mind, like, for a job opportunity, being able to go overseas and be able to, if it's just for 6 months to a year, just to do that and just have that experience. And that's what, this whole podcast is about. It's just being open to something new, trying something different than what you're used to. And then the last thing but not least, uh is relationship. When it comes to relationships, like I say, we've had our experiences and everything. And like I said, we can get so comfortable, and we say we don't want that same type of person and relationship, but we find ourselves ending up in the same thing every time, every time, every time. And again, it's just something that we are comfortable with, even though we can have bad experiences, but we still find ourselves going back into that same thing. I heard someone say one time, "Oh, I know your type," and they, when they meet somebody or whatever, they say, "I know your type," and it's because they remember something that happened in a previous relationship, and that person may say something or do something, this new person or whatever, and they automatically say, "I know your type," but at the same time they say that, but they end up giving the person a chance, and then sure enough, they have the same type of experience, where it just doesn't work out or whatever. And so when it comes to relationship, I believe that we should be open to something new. Like, I heard someone say, like, man, I gotta have this guy that's got this swag and everything, and kind of rough around the edges and everything, and that's what they look for. They look for that, and they can be sitting across the table from someone, and they're just looking for that swag. They're looking for, that little edge. Not that he's gonna hurt her or anything like that, but just that little, like that edge. And that's what kind of excites them and turns them on or whatever. But if you know that you've had a pattern with that same time, hey, what's the point? What's the problem with trying something new? So he may be quiet. He may not have that swag that you're used to or whatever. But man, at the end of the day, if he loves you and treats you right and treats you like a queen, and is there for you, and you have somebody that, no matter what, they're gonna be there for you, and they're gonna love you and cherish you, then hey, problem with trying, something new. And as I'm talking to myself too, because like I said, I've had those experiences where I keep, the same type, person, and the things that you're looking at, they're so, I mean, they're shallow. But when you start to you start to look at things that are more, have some depth to it. And I mean, somebody that is going to love you, as they love themselves, and be there, for you. And I mean, that is priceless. Somebody with not with all this drama, just a whole lot of, nonsense going on. Somebody that's not stable, somebody can't hold a job, you go through these things, you turn around, they need to borrow money, and then, you meet somebody new, or, here's a something new that's presented to you, like, and you're basing it on, they don't look the way I want them to look, or they don't have that swag or that edge about them, and you kind of like, and you don't want to give them a chance, but that person could be the person that, could lead to a long-term relationship, and possibly lead to, marriage. So I just wanted tonight to just say that, let us be open. I'm not saying just, you know, throw everything out the window as far as your morals and values and things like that, but just being open to something new in regards to our relationships, to a new job, exploring a relocation to another city or state, or to start a new business, or, a lot of different things that, you kind of been resisting. um, Kind of be open to doing something new or different. You may want to go back to school and explore, something else that you would like to, obtain some skills, or, that you can use, for other job opportunities or for a business. So, um, just wanted to, bring this, podcast to you tonight. And I hope that everyone, was able to get something out of it. Again, something new. Let us be open, and just, I'm gonna say this before I let you go. There was, I was at a car wash, and this gentleman, we were washing his car, and, he and I started talking, and he was like, talking about skydiving. And I immediately told him no. And he was telling me how great it was and everything. And I was like, no way, no way. I did not want him to finish the conversation or anything. I was just so close minded to it. I was like, no, no. And not to say that I'm there now, that I'm willing to try it, but my mind is starting to open up to different things like that, to get out of my comfort zone, and just be willing to live life, try something new. And, I hope that you feel the same way. There may be something that you might be a little afraid, to try, or there's someone that you might be interested in, but you're kind of afraid because of what others might think, or they don't fit the, description or meet the requirements of your list, and so you're not willing to try. But I would say, at least, be open, and, give something new a try. So I hope everyone have a good night, and, we look forward to having another session of Fred Speaks. Good night.